Well, I'm here back in the arena that we love so much, Perks Arena. I'm here with Braves owner or co-owner, Norm Kelly. Thanks for being alongside in the off-season here, Norm. Great to see you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, we're noticing a little cold. We got the ice in the building. We got youngsters in the background warming up. It kind of rekindles even the midsummer feeling that hockey. It's just on the horizon, right?
Yeah, if you're a hockey player, the one thing that you recognize the most as soon as you walk into the rink, it's that smell. It's what brought you to the rink.
Totally.
You know, coming in here is always good, even in the summer. I don't care. It's a happy place for me.
Sure is, and my happy place as well. It's going to be a busy place for the Braves real soon, but I want to talk on the theme of business, Norm, just how busy it's been for the Braves this off-season. I don't think anyone was expecting, I wasn't expecting Sam Waterfield to depart. I thought he'd be back for next year. Tell us a little bit about what happened. Losing Sam and having him sort of promoted into Junior A, and your new coach that's coming in, of course, Brent Polishuk. We'll talk about Brent in a sec, but tell us what happened when Sam left.
Well, Sam came in the week before. We sat down, had a long chat with him. Sam assured us that he'd be with us.
Right.
Then he'd be staying with us next season.
Right.
And we always knew that Sam wanted to be a career coach. So Sammy's going off. He wants to make it his goal, his life. So any kind of promotion like that is a good thing. Sammy went over for the weekend. They saw potential. They hired him. He came back on the Monday.
That's the Coquitlam Express.
Coquitlam Express,
yeah,
Junior A. He came back and did some work with, I think he was with one of the U18 or U19 teams that were over in Vancouver.
Right.
They liked what they saw. Sam came back, informed us on first thing Monday morning that, he sat down with Ed and I, Ed Garrick and I, and we had a long conversation, and we were actually really thrilled for him. I mean, our role is not just to get the players to the next level, there's our coaches, our trainers, our assistant coaches, whatever. We're a springboard for getting these guys to the next level. So we were very excited for Sam, actually. Yeah.
And tell us, and tell the fans just a little bit, because of course, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was away a lot this summer with my regular time duties in Australia, of all places. But I wasn't hearing a whole lot coming out of the club, and I don't mean that as a disparaging comment. There was a bit of a vacuum there, and I had lots of people phoning me and asking, "Hey Clay, what's going on? Have they got a new coach, or where are they?" Tell us about the process and bringing in Brent Polishuk. What was that like?
Wasn't it great?
Well,
didn't I do a good job?
You did a great job.
I took it
with
upon,
the head scratch.
I kind of decided on my own that what I was going to do is I was going to go to social media and see what kind of coaches were out there. So Laura put together a wonderful, our admin gal put together a wonderful job application online. We posted it. Within a short time, I received about 13 to 15 resumes from some pretty class people across the country.
Almost fit a baker's dozen.
Correct. So then we sat down. We had a closing date of the 15th. We stopped applications on that day. We sat down, and interestingly, there were 5 out of that group, 5 alumni who applied for positions. Applied for the head coach position.
5 ex-Braves.
Previous Braves, yes. So I'm very excited about that as well. And some young guys from back east who I was thrilled with the resumes. HCR level 1 coaches with great experience and a little bit logistically difficult moving them across the country and that sort of thing. So then I got to one of the applications and I got a text and an application from Mr. Polishuk. My response was put an application in, which he did, submitted me a resume. I mean, I've known Brent now for almost 20 years.
So you do go back. There's some history.
Brent's one of my mentors actually. His is 2 assistant coaches this year, and I can tell you a little bit about them as well. I think he's okay with that.
Oh, good. Then why don't we say that in a moment?
Yeah. So
finish off with
these are my mentors. Brent's son Justin played with us. Brent, I've known Brent for almost 20 years. He's evaluated most of the players under 20 in this province. He's worked for both Hockey Canada and Hockey BC.
Indeed, he was with their program of excellence.
Recently, the greatest story that I heard about all these guys is helping the Kazakhstan in the World Juniors. These were the 3 or 4 guys that they were billeted with and were the ambassadors for their team. So between you and I, Kazakhstan beat Sweden because of those guys.
Wow.
Or helped them because they're good hockey men.
They are, and they were a lot of fun down at Save on Foods at Christmas time. I had a ball watching them, so did the fans.
Correct. And they were then Brent and Rob
Okay.
I'll tell you, and Bruce were the guys that were with that team. So, I mean, I've known these guys for a long time. I know they're good hockey people, and I was thrilled when I got Brent's application. We shortlisted down to a few guys, which I interviewed. I mean, I didn't even really have to. I just checked boxes with Brent, and we met all the criteria.
Yeah. And I'm assuming, of course, Ed Garrick was involved in that process.
Ed was involved.
You're co-owners.
Yeah, Ed's got a multitude of we can say building projects on the go.
Sure.
He's doing 4 to 5. The last 2 years, as you know, I've had some family issues, so I've stepped out a bit.
Yeah.
I'm back now. I said to Ed I would do this, and I would keep him abreast of what's going on 100% of the time.
So truthfully, not to interrupt you, you were in the driver's seat from the get-go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I sat down with Ed at the very end of the interview and said, this is what the person that we wanted. We met with him, and it was on from there.
That is really exciting. Of course, the pedigree is there.
And we did kind of put it. Sorry, we did kind of put it on hold a little bit.
Yep.
Not on purpose.
Yep.
But because nowadays, I suppose some of these the companies that you're working for are asking for
Commitment.
Well, no, they want to know what you're doing in your extracurricular activities, and they want to be able to approve it.
Right.
So we had to wait for approval from his company.
From his company.
Correct.
Isn't that an interesting sort of tick in the box?
I've asked another 3 or 4 guys, and they said their companies do the same thing.
Right.
So that's what we were waiting for.
Okay.
And at that time, it was only me and Ed, myself and Ed really that knew. So we kind of kept it pretty close.
Well, that ties in, and that's why my phone was ringing off the hook all the time, and thinking that I had some pipeline to the answer. But I'm so glad we can solve it now, and we'll get this interview up on social media later tonight. Let's kind of close things out here. We'll talk just a little bit about the camps that have already gone on. Of course, I was there at the May camp back at the Racket Club there, and that one was good. Obviously, in charge of that was Sam Waterfield in that one. Saw some good talent there, a couple of the returnees. Can you tell us a little bit, not to steal a lot away from the head coach, can you tell us a little bit about camps this summer and where you think maybe the roster's looking? Any idea?
Yeah, well, Brent came to us after and said, we asked him, is there anything we can do for you when we hire you? He said, well, here's what I'd like to do.
Sure.
I'd like to meet my players. I'd like to have 2 ice sessions with them. So last Friday and Saturday, we ran a mini little camp here with both returning players and the guys that we had committed, that Sam, or the guys we had committed to. Right. So these were the guys that maybe, were our 8 affiliate players, or maybe that, and we said to them, you know what, hey, come on back, we'll have a look at you. I can't pick Brent's team.
Of course you can.
And I can't commit to them because at this point in time, he's going to put his team together.
For sure.
But in the same token, these people need to know. So we had them out on the weekend. We had a wonderful weekend. This time, he carded the players that he wanted to. He told other guys, gee, you got to work harder, and I'll see you at main camp in August. The main camp is in August, and we start right after that.
So the bottom line, folks, the Saanich Braves are alive and well. The coach has met with really his core group, shall we call it, probably his leadership group to boot, and we won't get into the ones and zeros on that, Norm. We'll leave that between the coach and I. We'll have a chat about that later, but just in conclusion, it's been, geez, how many years you've been on board with you and Ed Garrick now, and just, I wanted to kind of finish off. The final question is just, it's been such a great, 36, 48 months in a row now, maybe even a little longer, we had a club that was inherited by Sam, that Brad Cook helped put together, and that club did so well. Came within a game here on this very ice surface, Game 7, look. Actually, it was a game 6, so they would have won it. 7 there. But my point about all of it is the club has really come one heck of a long way. And you get my question here. What do you think of the Braves right now, and what this last couple of years has meant to you as an owner, and in terms of the ownership group and where everything's tracking?
We're as solid as can be. We've spent a lot of time. I went back and looked at my notes from 12 years ago when I decided I was going to sign on and be an owner and co-owner of this team, and I think we've almost accomplished everything that I was looking at. Getting a dressing room, getting a trophy case, running daytime practices, off-ice training, the proper people here, getting volunteers in the sheets, all the event, Cassie doing all our events, all that stuff now. Ownership group is really, really solid. That's what we kept telling all our parents, just be patient, we'll have our coach soon. We couldn't assure them that was, that their son was going to be there, but we could tell them we were working on it. Last 48 months, we have really, gone hard to the wall.
Totally.
And really enjoyed it as well. We're probably running one of the top franchises in the country right now for Junior B or Tier 3. And I love it. I mean, you look around the rink, we're doing wonderful community events. We're doing, all our players are happy to be here. We've got a great dressing room, so they're not taking their stuff home. Our billets are fantastic, and the kids are really thankful of them. Our home opener this year is a bit later.
Sure.
It's not till the 13th.
Yep.
But this year we're on our home opener night. We're having all my friends from Western Speedway.
Great.
So we're having the race car here, and we're having the sprint car, and the Shockwave car is going to be here with the full 300 Black Max.
Cool.
It's going to be a good year. We want to provide a product that's people will come out and they're going to enjoy, and they're going to sit down, and we give out a lot of swag, and from Slag Lumber and from all our sponsors. I mean, Garrett Construction steps up in a big way. We've got a lot of people like yourself that are here every night doing their thing. It's not just us.
It takes a team, it takes a community, it takes a village, if you will.
Yeah, I love it, and the rink itself too. I really like the rink has really stepped up too. Our new manager Graham and some of the people from Saanich have really done a good job to try to really accommodate what we're trying to achieve here. Our answer for cancer is going again.
And that was huge last year, and all those players like Kyle Mace stepping up, and not just he, but so many places, such a big job there.
This year we got a young lady from Ontario, Cassie, who's going to be doing all our off-ice stuff.
Okay.
And she's got some crazy good ideas. So I think it's going to surprise people because of some things I didn't even know about.
So. Well, this is an organization, Norm, that has surprised people. It's funny you mention it. The Braves are just keep being that surprise franchise that people just don't think about, and then all of a sudden, like late in the last year, September and October, they ran off 13-1 or
whatever that
was, and what a start. But no, I want to thank you very much for this.
Again.